Okay, everyone now agrees that we're in a Bitcoin bear market. Well, Michael Saylor appeared on CNBC and was asked all the questions about Bitcoin that you probably want answers to, like how low will Bitcoin go? How long will this Bitcoin bear market last? Let's watch this high signal clip. It was very good.
Can I first just get your gut answer as to whether we are in the first stages of another extended crypto winter?
We are in a crypto winter. This is the fifth major drawdown of Bitcoin in the 5 years since I've been in the marketplace. This is a much milder winter than previous winters. It'll be shorter than previous winters. It's going to be followed by a spring and then a glorious summer. So don't fear.
Why do you feel so confident saying that?
The banking sector is supporting Bitcoin much more strongly today than we were 4 years ago. We've got the formation of digital credit networks, banking credit networks. We've got the support of the administration. We've got a Bitcoin president. We've got 12 cabinet members that are pro-digital assets and pro-innovation. And every single month, you see new advances in the digital asset space, which are bringing extraordinary productivity to the economy and a lot of capital to the asset class.
You know, you're absolutely right when it comes to the banks who have finally started accepting and embracing it. I mean, you could go back, of course, to BlackRock, not a bank, but BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, finally pushing hard to get a spot Bitcoin ETF in play. IBIT and the rest have done, depending on what Bitcoin is doing, up, down, all around. Let me shift the discussion to the Federal Reserve, because President Trump has nominated Kevin Warsh to be the next Fed chair. There is a question as to whether he will be in a position to cut interest rates. We know President Trump really wants him to, but the economy is holding up, at least for the moment. So, if he holds off on cutting interest rates, which could hurt riskier investments, give me a sense of what you expect to see in that case.
Bitcoin is global digital capital. It's above my pay grade to speculate about where the interest rates will go. But what I'll say is there are three primary drivers of the Bitcoin price that are all bullish. There are those that believe that Bitcoin is a better gold than gold because it's scarce and it's teleportable. And so people that believe in a debasement trade or they want a non-sovereign store of value will buy Bitcoin for the long term for that reason. There are other people that believe in the digital transformation of finance, and they think of Bitcoin as amplified big tech. And then there's a third set of people that want global property, and they simply want the highest, best property in the world that they can move to any country anytime they want. And so Bitcoin's driven by all three of those dynamics, sometimes on different days of the week. And so it defies putting into a simple bucket, but it's going to win for one of those three reasons, regardless of what the macro environment works out to be.
It truly is interesting now that I hear more than a few people saying that to diversify their portfolios, and they're not necessarily Bitcoin believers, they are putting a little corner of their money into cryptocurrency just so that they are diversified. You guys have come a long way.
I guess we have, in fact, come a long way, but not far enough yet, though. All right, I really want to start with what my boy said in the chat. Where'd it go? What my boy Chef Tommy said in the chat. I thought Saylor said winter wasn't coming back. I am old enough to remember him saying that we were not going to have a crypto winter, and now we are at what potentially, I mean, me and Nico have different opinions here, but potentially, a big potentially here, have already seen the bottom. I know Nico has different views, but it's funny now, and this is where I want to start the combo with Nico. It's funny now that, it's been 4 months of dropping since October. And now we finally all, can agree, like, yes, we are in a bear market. No longer can I cope on the show that, we're going to go back up. We're not going to go that low. Though I don't think we're going to go as low as Nico thinks we're going to go. But
who was right and who was
wrong? You were partially right.
Partially.
Yeah. Your parlay still has to hit. You're saying 30, 40K, dude. The second part of your parlay hasn't hit yet.
Okay, man. All right. Now you're like moving the goalposts.
Dude,
and
this
stuff.
is my job. I'm coping.
Like
I'm coping live.
You and Walker were just, you guys were like beating me up with a metaphoric 2x4 on the show. And I called it. I called it in October. I said, listen, we're headed into a bear market. You were in denial. Walker was in denial when you guys were on the show. I'm sticking to what I'm saying. I still think we're in a bear market. I still think we got about like 5 to 6 months of this going on. And to kind of echo with what Saylor was saying in regards to the bear market being shorter, listen, the 4-year cycle is intact until it's proven otherwise. Because so far, that theory has been the only theory that has held up completely. We topped exactly when we were supposed to top, according to the 4-year cycle theory. So again, if you follow the 4-year cycle theory, the bottom isn't until October of this year, if that theory is to be held true. Now, what I'm hoping for is we have a faster capitulation. We don't have a bounce back, because then we can capitulate a lot earlier, maybe around May, if the price just keeps dumping, which in my opinion, I think more quicker pain, the better. Instead of this kind of like this extended drawdown process. I still see hope in your eyes. I still see a little sparkle in your eyes, Opti. And
these are new glasses. That's just a reflection.
No, but beyond the reflection, bro, I see your eyeballs, and there's still hope. There's still a little sparkle.
I still like life, bro. I'm not like you. I'm not dead inside.
That's not that's not how bear markets work. Bear markets work when it's a total capitulation. People just lose hope. They lose interest. Now, they have been losing interest, which is really good. Like people,
yeah. Can we talk about the loss of interest? We can see this. We can quantify it.
They have been losing interest. That's a very, very good indicator that, not only are we in a bear market, but the bear market, I would say we're already 30, 40, 50, 60% of the way through, just based on the complete lack of interest in Bitcoin and also the uncertainty in Bitcoin. Right. For the last 3 years, as I've been saying for this last couple of days, it seemed like Bitcoin was 100% sure bet. Now there's uncertainty brought up to the market. I mean, you heard that Anchor basically grill Michael Saylor. They were rolling out the red carpet for Michael Saylor 6 to 7 months ago. What he did with his company was an absolute miracle. The stock price went from $15 a share to $500 a share. Like, what he pulled off was insane, in a good way, insane, right? And of course, then the bear market started happening. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, Michael, could you hold on? Like, are you at risk? Are you threatened? Are you worried? Like, this is the same person that survived his company basically going sideways for 20 years. This is the same person that survived the .com crash, which basically bankrupted so many companies back in the early internet era. This is the same person that withstood all of that. And I never forget seeing Michael Saylor in the front row of Pacific Bitcoin at the bottom of the 2022 bear market, when he was down billions of dollars on his initial Bitcoin investment. It wasn't like it is now, where now Bitcoin is a proven asset. Now Bitcoin, it's proven it could work. It shows that his stock price is going to appreciate because of the Bitcoin strategy. Back then, it was just a theory. It was an unproven theory. And I remember him just looking at all the presentations, super serious, and I can't even imagine the pressure that was on his shoulders, the billions of dollars that that people had invested in him, that he was down, his stock price. I can't even imagine that type of pressure, but it's the same type of pressure that all of us had to go through. If you get into Bitcoin, we all have to pay our price of tuition. All of us have to pay this price. It's like par for the course. Right. So I would say this is the most opportune moment in Bitcoin cycles historically to dollar cost average, smash buy into Bitcoin. And then when we eventually reach that capitulation phase, and I don't know when that is and how low we're going to go, you're going to be able to buy the cheapest stack ever. And everyone's giving me shit in the chat. Keep giving me shit, ladies and gentlemen. Keep giving me shit in the chat. Give me as much shit as you want. I've been right since October, so I'm sticking to my guns. I'm sticking to my beliefs. If you guys want pure hopium injected into your veins, you got to talk to your boy Opti, because he'll tell you the price is going to 500K tomorrow every single day.
It's a non-zero chance. No, I'm trolling. I'm actually kind of trolling. All right. You heard Nico's bear case, which is
not a bear case. It's not a bear case.
All right. I mean, I'm actually going to agree with you. I think since we started having this argument live on air, I think we have been really debating semantics about what the 4-year cycle is. Because you keep saying that 4-year cycle isn't broken, and I get it. We did drop at the 18-month period after the halving. I totally agree. I totally agree. Hold on.
It's not just saying, okay, Nico, I have a theory. Nico has a theory the 4-year cycle isn't over. Brother, the 4-year cycle has not been broken. It hasn't been broken.
That's the whole thing. I get it, the time frame, but every other factor for the 4-year cycle has been broken.
No, only the indicators. None of the indicators hit, and the reason none of the indicators hit was because we never entered into a euphoria phase. That's the only thing that was caught people off guard. But in terms of the timing, the 4-year cycle is completely intact. It hasn't been broken yet.
I agree with that. I agree with the timing aspect. But every other thing that we can attribute to the 4-year cycle has basically been broken. All-time high before the halving.
That happened.
No 3 green, 1 red.
Yeah, but okay. So okay, all right. Let's get into the details of those claims, right?
And I'm bringing this up so I can play devil's advocate.
No, it's great. It's great. Lively discussion. Okay, so all-time high before the halving. Why did that happen? That happened because the ETF got approved. What was the second thing that you said?
No 3 green, 1 red.
Okay, no 3 green, 1 red. The meme, right? The reason that meme didn't play out, it did play out technically because we did make an all-time high.
Who's coping now?
We did make an all-time high in the 3rd year after the halving. So we did make an all-time high in 2025. We just finished the year red.
So the meme broke.
But we still made an all-time high.
But the meme broke.
We made an all-time high previous to the year before. Right. So, yes, some variables change, some characteristics change without a shadow of a doubt. You're 100% right there. But the overall thesis of the 4-year cycle is completely intact. It's more intact than all the other things, bro. What is it? The plan B thing? What is the thing? The
stock to flow.
Stock to flow.
And he's still coping on the timeline harder than I am.
Dude, stock to flow, dude. That shit's crazy, bro. Then he has millions of followers and all that stuff. He makes videos. People watch the videos and stuff like that. That theory is broken. Then the power law theory is the new theory, right? That power law thing didn't play out at all because according to and again, they move the kind of expectations and stuff. It's oh no, but the power law only defines the bottom. It actually doesn't define the top. And the power law actually doesn't guarantee that there is going to be a top. Then it's then what is the point of using the power law if it doesn't do anything then? Right? The only model that has stuck out, the only law that hasn't been broken yet, which I'm going by, has been the 4-year cycle theory. It's played out perfectly. Which, again, until it gets broken, I'm going to assume that we're still playing out the regular 4-year cycle. And I even see it in the Rumble chat, bro. Check this out. C-suite in the Rumble chat's I'm still in denial, Nico. Yeah. No shit. Listen,
my man.
The capitulation happens when when everyone loses hope, right? When everyone is listen, this Bitcoin thing's not working. Only then, when people feel maximum pain, little to no hope is when we have reached a bottom. When there's absolutely no interest is when we reach a bottom. We don't reach a bottom before then, right? That's how bottoms work, right? And then to add to what Michael Saylor was saying, finally, bro, welcome to the club. Yes, crypto winter is here. And it's interesting because I also called this out. I'm taking credit for it. I called this out. I said when the strategy CEO, I don't know how do you say his name?
I think it's Fong Li.
Fong Li.
Yeah.
Okay, so shout out Fong Li. So when he went on, I think it was what Bitcoin did podcast, I told you guys, I was like very clear. He said crypto winter on that podcast. And then he said, we are accumulating a $2 billion cash position. Why do you think they're accumulating that $2 billion cash position? Right? If according, again, love Saylor, love what he's done for the industry. I think it's great. I'm a fan of strategy. I can't wait to buy $50 strategy. But
I don't think that's going to happen, bro.
Yeah, dude, that's what everyone says. Every bear market, every single time. I've seen this play out so many times. Anyways, so
this is the first Bitcoin treasury bear market, though.
This time, okay, hashtag this time is different. This time wasn't fucking different, everyone. Okay, so I remember when he went on the podcast, he's like, we're preparing for a crypto winter. Then it took 1 or 2 months later for Saylor to finally say, we are in a crypto winter. And then don't pay attention to what they say, pay attention to what they do. What did strategy do? Strategy accumulated a $2 billion cash position. If they were bullish about the short-term price appreciation of Bitcoin, why would they sit on cash? Saylor has been on a holy crusade for the last 5 years telling you all the evils and all the shortcomings of fiat currency. What is his famous line? We even have it in the Bitcoin button thing or whatever. People that price their wealth in fiat, we call them poor. Well, they have a $2 billion fiat cash position, and I wouldn't call strategy or Saylor poor. They're just preparing themselves for a potential Bitcoin dip, which again, the 4-year cycle is intact until it's not intact. But that was an incredible interview, and shout out to the anchor. I think she did a great job. Very good question.
Yeah, and
very good question.
And I think, look, obviously you're still saying, dip till October.
I'm not saying I can't.
That's kind of what you said.
No, but listen, I can't read into the
that is what you said.
I can't read into the future. No one can, and no one can tell you what the bottom is. What I can tell you is that if Bitcoin continues to follow its 4-year cycles, since the birth of Bitcoin, then the bottom is gonna be around October. If Bitcoin breaks the 4-year cycle, which is totally a probability, or if we just like market dump completely, we might bottom out faster than that. You never know. You can't listen. Anyone who's telling you they have a price prediction of Bitcoin or Bitcoin's going to be at a certain price by this date or this month, they're completely wrong. But I can tell you, the overall feeling and all your overall vibes. And the overall feeling, the overall vibes is the fact that it's undeniable that Bitcoin is in a bear market. Right. And even the Chad Saylor himself is saying not only are we in a bear market, dog, we're accumulating cash because we're in a bear market. Right.
Well, that's not what they're doing.
That's what they did.
They got a cash position so that they can pay out and ride out the bear market. But they're acquiring Bitcoin now.
Okay, they're acquiring Bitcoin, but why?
It's a smart move. It's so that if there is a prolonged bear market, they can still pay, their dividends.
Okay. You proved my point.
You didn't say that though. I know what your point is, but you said that they're accumulating cash. They got a chunk of cash, so if there is a prolonged bear market, it is. I mean, we're agreeing. It is preparation.
Listen,
but they're not accumulating dollars. Is all I'm saying.
All I know right now is that Cackling Kamala was in office, we'd be at 500K by now. Some of us would be in jail, but at least we'd be at 500K per
Hey,
coin.
I'd be in the gulags, but I'd be rich.
But at least Bitcoin would be at 500K.
All right, Nico. Let's see if there's any agreement here.
Not at all.
Well, no, we don't.
Zero chance.
No, but there is some agreement here between you and I. Do you think that the institutions coming into Bitcoin have fundamentally changed, not necessarily the price action, but the Bitcoin environment?
100%.
Okay. No. Hold on. Let me go. You've been ranting for 15 minutes. All right. So the reason I am more aligned with Saylor here, and I do kind of agree that this bear market is most likely going to be shorter, is based on that pretext that because the institutions are here, fundamentally things are changing. Now, going further on this, in TradFi, usually bear markets are around like 4 months. So this is why I keep saying I don't think we're going to be going that much lower and going, completely sideways till October. I'm more leaning into what you're saying, where like we get a sharper bottom and then it's a quicker bear market, which I don't know. I'm not really reading into Saylor's mind, but again, we are at the 4-month mark here for this bear market. If you're pricing it in dollars, we're at the 14th month if you're pricing it in gold. And so again, with that in mind, that since the institutions are coming in here, we know they're accumulating, we know they're manipulating the price, we know they want a better price in Bitcoin. And usually, TradFi bear markets are roughly around 4 months. You could make a pretty good case that, hey, they're driving this price here, and we might not be in a bear market till October. That's all I'm saying, Nico. That is all I'm saying. Look, so I'm on Team Saylor for once.
There hasn't been a capitulation, okay? And every single time, every single Bitcoin bear market, there's always a capitulation. It always happens. It never fails.
Could have been 60K.
No, there wasn't enough pain, bro.
Dude, look at the chat. Look at you coping. Look at you personally. You're feeling it. I'm not going to say cope because you're not really coping. You're explaining it, but the chat is cooked. Attitudes are cooked.
It's not
literally
enough.
there's no one searching for Bitcoin content. I think it's pretty cooked.
It's not enough, dude, bro. It just, like, when you think things can't get worse, they will get worse. Like that's how these bear markets work.
No, but I am saying I think it can get worse. I just don't think it will.
I mean,
so I'm not actually coping.
You said that in October. Listen, I think
that's true.
I think we go sideways for a little bit. We kind of chop. I will tell you that time is on our side, right? So like the longer we chop at these prices, and if we kind of maintain these prices for a foreseeable amount of time, great. Then we're Gucci, we're golden, right? However, if we drop into the summer, which is my base expectation, I think that there's a high probability that we kind of bottom out. And by the way, if we do bottom out, and I'm telling you these numbers of like, 50, low 50, mid 40s, maybe high 30s. If we do bottom out at those levels, I'm telling you right now, we're not going to stay there very long. Like, we're going to stay there for a very short amount of time, and it's going to be a one in a generational entry. That's all I'm telling you, right? Because realistically speaking, guys, we are lower than the all-time high of 2021. So the 2021 all-time high was at $69,000. That was 4 years ago. That's like an entire high school experience, right? And we are like $2,000 lower than that previous all-time high. So we're not going to spend a lot of time in these areas, even at $67,000. Like, if you're thinking about trying to get into Bitcoin, this is an amazing entry point. You're going to be looking back at this entry point 2 to 3 to 4 years from now, and you're going to think you're a genius, right? Even if you don't get that $50,000 entry, that $45,000 entry, you're still going to be very happy with this entry point, right? The name of the game right now is survival. This is where everybody, all the tourists, they leave. Everyone gets bored. Saylor becomes a villain, right? You become a villain in your family if you incentivize your family to buy Bitcoin at these levels or near the top and like whatever. This is where you earn your stripes. This is where legends are forged. This is where, you know, your conviction really gets tested, right? And this is where you got to ask yourself, like, why am I in Bitcoin? Why am I in Bitcoin? Am I in Bitcoin to get rich? Or am I in Bitcoin because I want what's better for my family's future? I want the world to improve. Why are you in Bitcoin? That's a question you got to ask yourself personally. You got to look deep within you and you got to say, why am I here? That is what's going to get you through these tough times. That conviction, that belief, right? That is what's going to get you through these. And by the way, these bear markets, I'm going to tell you guys right now, and no disrespect to class of 2021 or class of 2024 or whatever, these bear markets are nothing compared to the 2018. That was like trench warfare, man. That was horrible. Like, you want to know what
the 3,500 crash was lit.
80% drawdown feels like, bro, it was horrible. Like your soul, it was, you were looking at, they had this app at the time. It was like called like Blockfolio or something. And,
I remember.
You would look at Blockfolio and you'd be like, oh my God, like this is depressing. Like this is funny. Straight up depressing. Right. But
it's literally like it's all gone.
It's all gone. But you look back on those times and you're like, holy shit. Like that was literally, if I had cash, if I had more conviction during those times, I would have a lot more Bitcoin today. Right. So right now, these times where you're tried, you're tested,
Facts.
They're beating up Saylor on TV. Perhaps your family members are beating you up. You're getting those messages like, are you okay? Like, have you been getting those messages? I haven't been getting enough of those messages, bro.
Yeah, my dad sent me one when it cracked to 60.
You got one.
He's like, I hope you're doing good and then it'll get better. I'm like, I'm not even responding to this.
You got one, right? But it's usually when it starts getting flooded, when those messages.
Actually, I got a couple. I got basically a good majority of the people that know I'm a Bitcoiner and got a little Bitcoin. They all hit me like, "Yo, what's going on?"
So we might have bottomed already.
Yay!
But no one knows what the absolute bottom is. But again, there will be signs. There will be symptoms. Right? There will be
I think you're the perfect bottom indicator.
What? How could you say that? If
man, I'm just trolling you, bro. I'm rage baiting you. I'm rage baiting you.
I don't see the capitulation signs yet. I don't see the capitulation. I'll be the first one to tell you the capitulation signs. I'll be like, okay. This feeling.
I don't know. The combo we had behind the scenes about Simply in general sound like some capitulation to me.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
That was fun. All right.
Anyways, if you guys are enjoying the show so far, make sure to smash that like button. People are saying bottom in the chat. Actually, we should ask the chat. We should just make this a public question. Bottom is in, boys. We should
see. Chat agrees. You're the perfect bottom indicator.
Thought it was the McRib. Nico capitulated. I don't capitulate, dude. I don't sell any Bitcoin. Are you kidding? What's a bag of Huggies cost in Bitcoin? Saint Nico. Oh, I like it. I got a nice message, Opti. Look at that. Look at that.
That guy's wrong.
You guys didn't experience the long bear of 2024, 2025. You're right. You're dude, listen, bro, I'm going to give you a shout out. Skip down the road. If you did that, shout out to you because that was brutal.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Right? I wasn't there.
2018, 2019 was child's play compared to that bear market. Well, we get it, Nico. You suffered PTSD, Nico. Yeah, 100% PTSD. Listen, you go crazy during these things. You lose a part of yourself, right?
I would literally see it happen every single day.
You lose a part of yourself. You lose a part of yourself going through these bear markets. Like, they're not fun. Anyways, The Bitcoiner slavery, Nico. I love that. Chat's because we are regarded in the chat. The boogeyman. My family is too dumb to understand where it's going. That's funny.
True.
The price drop. Nico saying bottom is 34K. I don't know what the bottom is, dude. I have no idea, but just kind of rule of thumb, $126,000. What's 70% off of that?
It's like 35 or something like that.
What's 70% correction off 126K? So 70% correction. So every cycle, guys. So at $37,800. That's why I'm getting to that. That's literally where I'm getting the number from.
Wait, what'd you say? 37?
$37,800. So every correction gets smaller. This is true. So we've hopefully we've gone past the 80% corrections. And every single correction gets slightly better than the previous one. So it was 80, then it was 77, then it was 74. But your base case should always be at least a 70% correction. And from 126 to a 70% correction would put us at $37,800. If we do hit that price point, it will be for less than a day, maximum a week, and then we're back up. It won't stay there very long because at that point, Bitcoin is massively undervalued. Bitcoin's not worth $37,800. It's worth significantly more than that. But again, this is what these bear markets are all about. And then also, I haven't seen some of these treasury companies capitulate. Now, I'm not talking about strategy, and I'm not talking about 21. And I'm not talking about Nakamoto, even though their stock,
I mean, we saw two sell some.
Even though their stock, bro, did get hammered a little bit.
Cooked.
No comment. But bro, maybe just people bought at the wrong time. I don't know. But I don't think the big ones like Nakamoto or 21 or strategy are going anywhere. But some of the smaller treasury companies, see someone's in the chat. The 40s, yes. 30s, no. The wick will be quick. I 100% agree. The wick's going to be super quick. We're not going to spend that much time. If it does go to the 40s or 30s, we're not spending a lot of time there. But I haven't seen a capitulation because every single Bitcoin bear market, there's a sacrifice. There's a sacrifice. There's a sacrifice, bro. The last one was the Celsius, FTX, and all that bullshit, right?
So what? We got to sacrifice Bitcoin treasury companies?
No. We don't have to sacrifice anything, but there's always. I'm saying it as like to be hyperbolic, to create it, so that people could visualize what I'm saying. But there's always a major Bitcoin company or some type of institution. It just blows up. It happens every time. That hasn't happened yet.
Well, there is the rumors that it could have been some hedge fund, Hong Kong hedge fund.
Yeah, but it's not public, dude. It's always public. It's always dramatic.
It was pretty public in the market.
It's always dramatic. It's always public. Like it's like a spectacular blow up. That's what always happens every single time. I don't think this time's different. Jake Fever says people watching this is selling. 40K is a silly take. It's going back up. Dude, listen.
Dude, don't sell your Bitcoin.
Don't sell your Bitcoin. I'm not selling my Bitcoin. Hell no. I've been buying the peaks.
Wait, we don't hold. Remember, sorry. Why is it doing that to me again?
I don't know.
We misspoke. We don't own Bitcoin.
If I did, I would be buying. If I did own Bitcoin, I've been buying the peaks and I've been buying the bottoms, and I'm
out of dollars,
and I've been holding through this entire time as a Bitcoiner. Don't overthink it. Stack hard. That's it. All right, everybody, we're going to move on to the next segment of the show. You guys are going to want to stay tuned in. We got a lot of stuff for you guys today. The CEO of Goldman Sachs, one of the most elite banks in the United States, saying, hey, listen, I'm seeing some sovereign wealth funds buying Bitcoin. He was also at the World Liberty forum?
World Liberty Finance Forum.
World Liberty Finance Forum, the forum that was organized by the Trump fam. You had the CEO of Goldman there. You had CZ there. Like they're calling for me. Like, come on now, guys, connect the dots, right? Take advantage of these.
And you still think it's going lower,
bro? It could be going lower, dude. It's Bitcoin until the 4-year cycle breaks. I'm a big believer. Anyways, we're gonna be right back in just a bit. Today's episode is brought to you by Bitcoin Well Infinite. If you're a serious Bitcoin buyer, you've probably hit the same wall. Most platforms make you give up custody just to play by the rules. Bitcoin Well Infinite fixes that. They're North America's only publicly traded, non-custodial OTC desk listed on the TSX Venture Exchange, which means transparent operations and zero counterparty risk.
You buy Bitcoin, you take immediate control, period. For trades over $50,000, you get a dedicated executive Bitcoin advisor, competitive spread starting at 1%, and immediate delivery straight to your own wallet. No custody risk, no withdrawal fees, just institutional grade execution with full asset control. If you want to buy Bitcoin the right way, book a free consultation at bitcoinwell.com/OTC or email infinite@bitcoinwell.com.
I want to give a shout out to our partner, StampSeed. Is your Bitcoin in cold storage really secure? Are your seed phrases really secure? StampSeed's do-it-yourself kit has everything you'll need for you to hammer your seed words into commercial-grade titanium plates instead of just writing them down on paper. Paper is fragile. Titanium plates are strong. Your words are actually stamped into the titanium plate with this hammer and these letter stamping tools. Once the words are in, they aren't going anywhere. No risk of the plate breaking apart and pieces falling everywhere. Titanium stamp seeds will survive nearly triple the heat produced by a house fire. They're also crush-proof, waterproof, non-corrosive, and time-proof. And now you can customize your titanium seed plates. You can upload your design or logo, and they will laser engrave it on the back of your seed plate, the opposite side of where the words are. Stamp your seed on StampSeed and use promo code SIMPLY to get 15% off anything on the stampseed.com store. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. At the time of recording, the Bitcoin price is $67,550. Sats per dollar, 1,480. Block height, 937,567. Realized monetary inflation, 0.83%. Market cap, 1.35 trillion. Bitcoin versus gold market cap, 4.51%. Percentage issued, 95.2%. Decline from all-time high. Currently sitting at a negative 46.4%. So you're getting a 46% discount if you're buying Bitcoin at the moment. Anyways, I do want to show you guys this video. Again, the CEO of Goldman Sachs at the World Liberty Forum. What's he doing there? What's the CEO of one of the world's most largest prestigious banks doing at a Bitcoin / crypto related event? Interesting question. Let's check out the clip, then we'll talk about it.
Does Goldman Sachs buy Bitcoin? Like, do you buy the ETFs? Do you have that in the trading portfolio?
Until 10 minutes ago, the regulatory structure was extremely prohibitive on what we could do as principal. That regulatory structure is evolving. But when you talk about crypto assets specifically, we've been very limited up until very recently as to what we can do. The center of how we think about this is we have clients, our clients have needs, we're here to serve our clients. We're not here to act as a principal in making decisions around this. We're here to be an infrastructure provider, a liquidity provider, a client service provider to our clients in all these activities.
So that was a very, very interesting answer. So he didn't give the second answer first. He gave the first answer, the first part of that answer, he gave it right off the rip. And he also knew the date. He also knew when that changed. But he said something very important. He said, we were prohibited from a regulatory perspective in order to buy Bitcoin. And that only changed up until recently. Now, I want you guys to connect the dots. with what Michael Saylor was saying in the first intro sentence. What did he say about the banks, Opti?
That's why he's bullish.
Who is this the CEO of? One of the world's largest what?
Bank.
There we go. Bingo. So now the second part of his answer was very political. It was like, you know, I've given you the hat tip and the wink, right? But at the same time, you know, he was like, actually, you know, we're just here to service our clients. We're just here to, you know, provide the infrastructure so that if our clients do want exposure to Bitcoin, do want exposure to digital assets, we're able to provide that for them. Look, guys, keep this in mind, okay? Because I know a lot of you guys are like, Nico, like, holy shit, like, why doesn't the price go up? This is boring. This is good, whatever. Guys, if you were around in 2018, 2019, we were literally called criminals, okay? Like, we were called criminals. Now you have the CEO of one of the world's most elite, prestigious banks basically saying,
well, both of them,
and including Daddy Fink, right?
Well, no, I was going to mention Jamie Dimon,
including Jamie Dimon, right? Now you even have the CEO of the largest bank and then the CEO of the chairman of the world's largest asset manager literally going out and not only not criticizing Bitcoin, but going out there and saying, we're actually providing that for our clients because that's what our clients want. And then that answer by the CEO of Goldman was basically like, he could have answered that question with the second part. He could have started off with the second part and said, like, listen, to be honest with you, like, we just want to service our clients. If our clients want to buy that, we'll facilitate that. But that's not something that we do. He didn't start with that. He started with, we were constrained by regulations, so we weren't able to do that. But now we can. Things have just changed. That's what he said. That's the signal from that clip. What is also the signal from the clip? What incentive does the CEO of Goldman Sachs have to go to one of these Bitcoin / digital asset events? If he didn't feel like he had the necessity to do that as the CEO of that bank, he wouldn't be there. He's there for an obvious reason. He's there because he's interested in the industry. He's there for the same reason that CZ's there. He's there for the same reason that the Trumps were there. They're all there for the same reason. So I do agree with Saylor. This is incredibly bullish long-term from a price perspective. And like, if you take a look at some of the commentary that's happening on Twitter, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these banks are the ones who are actually responsible for some of this downward sell pressure that we're experiencing so that they could accumulate cheaper Bitcoin. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. But as I've been saying for the last week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever it's been, I would not be surprised in the slightest if the Trump administration goes and publicly declares that the United States of America, the United States government, has been actively purchasing Bitcoin. I wouldn't be surprised if that announcement happened next week or the week after or 6 months from now. I would not be surprised. And the reason I'm saying that is no one is better than their incentives. His family is literally up to the eyeballs in terms of being involved in the industry. Barron is fat fingering, counter training every single one of his dad's Truth Social posts. That's a joke, but probably true.
But probably facts.
Probably true. So, like, you know, like, at the end of the day, do you think Trump doesn't want the Bitcoin price to reach 500K under his administration? Himself and his family would get filthy rich if that were to happen, right? So, yeah, like, that's the signal, guys. The CEO of Goldman Sachs, one of the most conservative wealth management banks on planet Earth, is literally at a digital assets conference with the Trump family while CZ is there. That's the signal. You don't have to read in between the lines to put the pieces together, put the dots together. Anyways, that's my bit. Opti, what's your take? And then we'll move on.
Yeah, no, I agree with pretty much everything you said. The other interesting thing that David Solomon said, again, CEO of Goldman Sachs, one of the biggest banks in America, he also in that conversation said that he owns a little bit of Bitcoin. He said very little Bitcoin, which, depending on who you are, could be much more than a lot of people. Maybe very little to him is, a couple $100, couple $1,000, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars. We don't know what very little actually means, but he did caveat that with saying, I am watching it very closely. Now, the clip that Nico just played, I think is also super interesting for all the reasons that Nico said, but kind of putting it another way, he pretty much just admitted that he had to bend the knee to the free market. He had to bend the knee to what his clients wanted. And the clients are saying they want Bitcoin. And this has been the theory for when institutions come into Bitcoin, that eventually it's not going to be the institutions that are, quote, adopting Bitcoin, or they're the ones that have the fervor for Bitcoin. It's going to come from the pressure of their clients. He literally just said that on stage at the World Liberty Finance Forum. So it is everything is kind of like what's the bad guy from Star Wars?
Darth Vader?
No, his boss,
Palpatine.
Yeah, it's like the Palpatine meme. You're like, good, everything is happening exactly as planned. It's just taking a little longer than we all probably expected. And I don't know, me and Nico could probably rehash the whole conversation we had at the beginning of the show, because I watched it. I'm like, bro, he's basically saying, like, we were just able to get into Bitcoin. Hence, when we were able to get into Bitcoin, we want to get a good discount, and then they're going to rip it.
They're going to rip it 100%, bro. Listen,
rip it and dip it.
I'm super confident that this is going to happen. It's just a question of when will this happen. Is Trump going to wait out his presidency, and then the last month of his presidency, he's like, hey guys, we bought Bitcoin.
$1 million coins.
I don't know. You never know. Anyways, guys, you guys are going to want to stick around. We still have an incredible show lined up for you guys. We have an update regarding the Clarity Act. Brian Armstrong has declared war. He's taken the gloves off. He's not waiting for the Clarity Act to pass. This is an escalation, to say the least. So anyways, we have an update for you guys there. We're going to be right back in just a little bit. Also, we're going to be giving away a BitKey hardware wallet on today's show. So you guys are going to want to stay tuned. I want to give a shout out to our partner, Ledin, the leader in Bitcoin-backed loans. Unlock the liquidity in your Bitcoin without having to sell your Bitcoin. They've issued $9 billion in loans to over 10,000 customers since 2018. I absolutely love these guys. Not only do I have an account with them, but I also have a loan. And what I love about them is that there are no monthly payments, and you could pay back the loan at any time. As soon as you send your Bitcoin as collateral, you'll have cash in your account within 24 hours. Over 1,000 five-star customer reviews, and they've never lost a single dollar or sat of customer money. Go to learn.ledin.io/simply today, and you'll get 0.25% off your first loan. I want to give a shout out to our partner, sat123.com. Sovereignty isn't just about your money. It's about your communications too. When the grid goes down, most people go dark. Cell towers fail in hurricanes, cyber attacks, and blackouts. But satellite phones, they don't rely on local infrastructure. Iridium has 77 satellites in orbit, giving you a direct line anywhere in the US, even offshore. If you hold your own Bitcoin keys, you should hold your own comms too. Sat123.com also has everything you need to start building your Bitcoin citadel. Starlink, battery backups, Faraday bags to protect your hardware wallets, and much, much more. It's a one-stop shop for anyone serious about resilience and off-grid independence. Stay connected, stay independent, stay sovereign. Go to sat123.com/simply today and use promo code SIMPLY to get 15% off anything on the store. I want to give a shout out to our partner, BitKey. If you already self-custody your Bitcoin, you know the deal with hardware wallets by now. Complex setups, clumsy interfaces, and a seed phrase that can be lost, stolen, or forgotten. BitKey fixes that. BitKey is a multi-sig hardware wallet built by the team behind Square and Cash App. It packs a cryptographic recovery system and built-in inheritance feature into an intuitive, easy-to-use wallet with no seed phrase to sweat over. It's simple, secure, self-custody without the stress. Time named BitKey one of the best inventions of 2024. Get 20% off at bitkey.world. That's BITKEY.world with the code SIMPLY. All right, everybody, we are back. Guys, go to bitkey.world today. Again, if you use promo code SIMPLY99, again, SIMPLY99, you're able to get a 33% discount. Usually the retail price is $150 per bitkey. You get it for $99 if you use promo code SIMPLY99. Also, I do want to give a very special shout out to our BitKey giveaway today.
Wait, let's give them a little time. Let's do the news and then we'll do it in the culture.
No, let's do it right now.
Okay.
So I do want to give a shout out to the BitKey giveaway. It's pretty simple, guys. I'm going to put it in the chat. Be quick about it. It is Friday. Opti and I are tired. But basically, go to, I just put it in the chat. Go to Simply Bitcoin. It's the pinned tweet. All you got to do is subscribe to the Simply Bitcoin YouTube channel, follow the BitKey account, follow Simply Bitcoin account, repost, and the winner will be randomly selected on Simply Bitcoin this Friday. So I'm literally
today.
Yeah. So today. So I'm literally just going to scroll randomly, and wherever my cursor falls, there we go. Congratulations, Object Moon. We're gonna follow you back. And the second winner is going to be right beneath Ronin Satoshi. So we're going to follow you guys back. We're going to message you guys and not do that in public. But yeah, so congratulations. You guys have won a BitKey. Yeah, just we followed you guys on Twitter. So just send us a DM. Yeah, we can go from there. Anywho, let's get back to the news. The big breaking news for today. Congratulations to the winners, by the way. Why can't Nico take care of the baby? Can we get Sophie back? Sophie is busy with a baby boy, baby girl, actually, not baby boy. Anywho, back to this. So congratulations to the BitKey winners. Again, just send us a DM. We followed you guys on Twitter. So you could send us a DM. We'll send you guys a special promo code. You've won yourself a BitKey hardware wallet. So congratulations. Anyhow, back to the news. So shit's hit the fan with this with the Clarity Act. Remember I told you guys it was up 90%. It's down. It went all the way down to 63%. Now it's at 70%, 69%. That's funny. And the reason for that is the banks don't want to budge and Coinbase doesn't want to budge. And Coinbase actually just escalated this, and I'll explain to you why. So first, the White House is pushing banks to agree to stablecoin rewards and advance the crypto market structure bill by March 1st. So I kept telling you guys, when they say stablecoins rewards, the reason that banks are so threatened by this is because essentially the rewards function as interest. Problem is that if you're a bank, you're not offering interest to your clients right now. You're actually charging them a monthly maintenance fee. So if you have an account with Chase or Bank of America, Wells Fargo, any of the large retail banks in the United States, you get charged a $15 maintenance fee or $12, whatever it is. They pay you interest, but it's like laughable. It's like 0.0 something percent. It's like nothing. It's like spitting in your face, the equivalent of that. Well, Coinbase is basically saying, hey, guess what? We can actually offer something better. And that's exactly what they're doing. And Coinbase isn't waiting to show the banking world and also put pressure on the Trump administration, because Coinbase is basically angling and saying, listen, guys, as much as we love you, Trump White House, we're going to do this with or without you, because fundamentally, the reason that Coinbase was so okay with the status quo is because they said, listen, at the end of the day, with the status quo, we're able to do this. And with this bill, it actually bar us from doing this. And it's unfortunate because, you know, again, from a Bitcoiner's perspective, the whole protect the right to self-custody is kind of, you know, lopped into all of this. But that's the situation. And to show you guys that Coinbase is not like bluffing at all, they announced this 2 days ago. How to earn more Bitcoin. Hold USDC, which is the US dollar stable coin for Coinbase, flip the switch, and earn rewards in Bitcoin each week. Earn unlimited 3.5% rewards paid in BTC with Coinbase One rolling out now. So again, you're getting interest. That's what they call it rewards. You can call it whatever the fuck they want to call it, but that's how it's functioning. This is why banks are freaking out. My opinion is the banks, like, I'm sorry guys, but like, this is the most uncompetitive BS I've ever seen, because they don't want to change their business model. They want to continue gutting you. Basically, every single month, you paying the maintenance fee, them taking your money, making money off of your money because they go out and lend it to other people, and you get nothing in return for that. And they make a fortune off of that. Coinbase is basically saying, hey guys, actually, if you hold USDC, which functions like the dollar, and you just hold it in your account, we're going to give you 3.5% in interest, in rewards. And actually, it won't even be paid in USDC. We're actually going to be paying it to you in Bitcoin. And they're freaking out because there's a lot of people, specifically in the youth, that don't even have bank accounts. They'll use Coinbase. They'll use Cash App as their bank account. They won't even use a traditional bank account. They won't even use it. They'll be like, this is ridiculous, right? So this is what has banks freaked out. This is the main hurdle. This is the main barrier as to why the Stablecoin Act has not passed. It is literally this. It's nothing else. It's this. And Coinbase isn't playing around. They're saying, listen, we're not waiting for you. We're going to do this anyhow. We're going to roll this out anyway. And they can call it rewards, but in a way, it's just interest. Anyways, before I move on to the culture, I do want to give a shout out to Bitcoin 2026. It's going to be the largest Bitcoin conference in the world. I call it Bitcoin Super Bowl weekend. Again, guys, you definitely don't want to miss it. It's April 27th through the 29th at the Venetian Hotel. I'm going to be there. A couple of the Simply Bitcoin team members are going to be there. It's going to be, again, the Bitcoin conference you want to go to. Bitcoin 2026 in Las Vegas, Nevada. Biggest Bitcoin conference, biggest Bitcoin event of the year. You're not going to want to miss it. April 27th through the 29th. If you use promo code SIMPLY, again, promo code SIMPLY, you will get a 10% discount off of your tickets. See you guys in Vegas, April 27th through the 29th at Bitcoin 2026, the largest Bitcoin conference of the year. All right, everybody, let's get to the culture. Opti has a ton to get to. We're going to be right back in just a bit.
I want to give a shout out to our partner, HIVE Digital Technologies. Fueled by clean energy, HIVE has quadrupled its global Bitcoin mining footprint and channels that same scale into high performance compute, where their AI cloud is now ranked #1 in the world for network performance. At HIVE, you've got dual engines, Bitcoin and AI humming, roaring, accelerating in unison. They're lean and mean, they're green and clean, and they're rewriting the playbook on sustainable digital infrastructure. You can catch the latest buzz at Hive Digital Tech or at hivedigitaltech.com.
Yo, you turned my camera off. All right, one sec, guys. One sec. What a chud. All right, okay. All right, Nico had to step out, so I'm handling the rest of the show. I don't know. I'm a little conflicted here. Do you want to do kind of like a bullish meme culture today, or do I actually touch on some cultural stuff that happened today that does have some implications on the economy at large, which is like probably the biggest news today? So we can cover the Trump tariff decision, or do you want me to just do some meme and some hopium? So it is Friday. I'll give you guys a choice here. Give me 1 second. Chungus strikes again. Yeah, for reals. You couldn't hear him off there. All right, so I'm gonna read the chat here. Well, I'll take it wherever you guys want to go, since it's Friday, and I didn't actually tell you I was going to do memes today. It's not really a meme, but it is like memey. It's a meme hopium, or we can talk about the Trump tariffs, but that's kind of boring. So let's see. Give it some time. I know there's a delay. So let me know in the chat. 1 minute chart. Pull it up. All right. We'll go full bull chart. Okay. All right. I heard. All right. I'll give the audience what they want. It is Friday. Let's see. What's the 1 minute chart looking like here? My trading view is getting wrecked. It's not loading. Hold on. Let me refresh this. I don't know what's going on, guys. Give me the 1 minute chart. Okay, 1 minute chart. There we go. All right, so clearly in the deep value range here. And actually, I'll go back a little bit. Since I'm going to do bullish memes, if you guys heard, I will give you guys the context. Apparently, the Supreme Court has said that the Trump tariffs are illegal as they stand right now. It's illegal. It seems like the U.S. might have to pay a couple $100 billion, but it did, the markets did react pretty good, positive. All markets are pretty much positive this morning. The real question, I think now is the trade wars going to continue, but in different forms? But really for everyone out here, it's like, is this going to be bullish for Bitcoin or, all markets? And I think a lot of people are saying it might be bullish for the markets, even though it might not necessarily be bullish for, America, if you're coming from a MAGA perspective. Anyways, enough of that. That's if you didn't follow the news this morning, Supreme Court rules that the Trump tariffs are illegal. We still don't know much of the ramifications. I'm sure we'll get some interesting volatility in the markets next week. But this is kind of what I wanted to talk about. This is some bull hopium sauce, and it's Friday. We can have some lulls here. It's got to be 5 o'clock somewhere. You could crack open a beer and we'll hang out. I saw this post, and I me, I love the hopium. I'm a hopium addict, but this is pretty cool if it follows through. I doubt it's going to be like the 4chan post, calling the bottoms and tops exactly. But maybe I should pull it up, because he did the second post that he posted. He did say it was going to go to even higher all-time highs this year, but I don't remember what the numbers were. Anyways, we got this guy, Jesse Eckel, dad, crypto investor, yada, yada, yada. It goes, I paid $300 to get GROK Heavy 420 or 4.2 and asked it to predict the price of Bitcoin month by month from now until the end of 2027. This is what it predicted. I'm not going to read all the key rationales, but it's saying February, we will end this month around 68.5. So GROK's not too far off. Then March, 75K. Then April, 82. May, 88. June, 95. July, 105. August, 115. September, 125. New all-time high by October. And as you can tell, this is why I'm bringing it up, because I really want Nico to be wrong here on us going to 40K by October. I'm like, no, we're going to go to all-time high by October. Not just because GROK, because I'm the source. And that's just what I think's going on. I've made the case. I think the institutions have fundamentally shifted things. And yeah, I think people like Nico the banks and the market makers are playing into it. It's like they know there's going to be a 4-year cycle. Let's dump it, get some cheap sats. But we won't be in a bear market that long. So we'll see. All-time high by October, 135. Then November, 145. December, 155. Going all the way to December of 2027 at 240. Hey, can I just get some hopium here? Is it so wrong for me to just believe in the hopium? Bears and pessimists are losers. Nico's a loser. We are optimists here. We believe in hope. We believe in the future is going to be better than today. So 240 by 2027. All right, now here's where it does get kind of interesting. He continues and he goes, it gets more insane. I asked it to go to 2030. Its prediction is up only until 2030. It's predicting the super cycle. LOL. So January 255, and then we'll go to the very end here. December of 2029, 455,000. Now, I don't really believe. I don't. GROK hopium is fire. I'm not the biggest AI fan per se. I really think it's just a glorified search engine, but there's a lot of AI hope. And it literally is hopium. It's Friday. It's a meme. We're kind of laughing. We're kind of trolling. But if you kind of look here, and I don't really want to read all of the, I'll just pull it up so you guys can read it. You guys can read the reasonings, and here I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see some of its rationale. Or actually, maybe I'll just drop this let me just drop this in the chat for you guys, and you guys can read all its reasonings and stuff. But I want to believe. I really want to believe that AI is conscious on some extent, not so much on a full like Terminator level. I do like sci-fi, and I do think AI is probably gonna find us redundant, to put it nicely. But hey, newest GROK's out, 4.2. It's calling Supercycle. Let's just see. Let's see if it plays out, man. Let's see if it plays out. It is also playing off the idea that we had already bought them, that we're going to be pumping until the end of the year. And further, we're going to be pumping for the next 3 years. So, hey, maybe the 4-year meme cycle, 3 green, 1 red, is broken, but maybe we get back into a new cycle of just up forever. Greens forever. So dumb. It literally is. It literally is. That's the point. All right, guys. For the new guys, usually I would do a meme review at the end. That's why I said this is kind of a meme. It is Friday. We're having some fun. It is a meme. Okay. Like, sheesh. Can I have a little fun on the show, guys? Yeah, literally up and to the right. Up and to the right. All right, guys. I guess no. I guess you guys didn't have as much fun with this as I did. Skynet will actually find me. I am cooked, guys. I am totally cooked. No, don't. I am nice to my AIs and LLMs, but literally it's been proven that if you say please and thank you, you get worse answers. So I'm kind of in a pickle here. It's catch-22. You just be succinct, to the point, ask your question. Don't say please and thank you. It confuses them. Okay? Don't do that. Oh, yeah, the hopium, that's the stuff. All right, guys. Anyways, actually, let me see what's going on Rumble. Let's see if I'm getting trolled on Rumble, and then we'll wrap it up. It is Friday. Let's see. No, nothing on Rumble. Nothing on Rumble. All right, guys. Well, we made it another week. And let's just hope there's something to talk about tomorrow or Monday. So on that note, guys, Ultra Drip Moltbook turned out to be a scam. I had the same thoughts. Turned out to be not what we thought it was. At least that's what I looked at. That's what I saw. after the fact, but you know, maybe there's another update on that. But anyways, guys, it's Friday. So there is some homework for you this weekend. Eat some good food, call your loved ones, get some sun, get a workout in. Even if it's just walking, get the 10K steps in, guys. If the price is going to be as depressing as Nico keeps predicting, then the only thing you can do is try to ascend, try to upgrade yourself and stack as much Bitcoin as possible so that when we do hit another all-time high, you are the best possible version of yourself so that everyone can look at you and be like, damn, what a Chad. I want to be like him. I want to hold the money he's holding. I'm trying to look like a Greek god. I want to be that guy. That's who you need to be. That is the goal for 2026. If the price is going to be shitty, at least make sure you're not shitty, okay? I'm on the same protocol as you. I eat my own medicine or eat my own soup. That's what we're doing. We're locking in for 2026. If the price is going to be asked, we're going to lock in and we're going to stack as much sats as possible. And then maybe we'll have some fun by the end of the year. But I think we're going to have a strong reversal. Anyways, guys, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Even all the haters, I love you guys the most because you just hope that we're better every single day. And I really need that in my life. Someone that loves me so much that they can be critical and hope that I'm better every day. It's almost like my mother. All right, guys. All right. I'll see you on Monday, guys. Have a good rest of your day. Have a good weekend. We're going to lock in on Monday for next week. On that note, this is your boy Opti. This is Simply Bitcoin Live. Make sure, though, we are going to drop content over the weekend. So if you still need some more Bitcoin fill, come back to our channel. We're going to have videos for you guys all weekend. On that note, I will see you on Monday.
Today's episode was brought to you by BitcoinWell.com, a Bitcoin-only platform on a mission to enable financial independence.